If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. I was at my picnic table the other morning brushing my teeth, or I was getting ready to brush my teeth actually. I still had toothpaste on the toothbrush. I hadn't put it in my mouth yet. And this young gal, who she says is 29 years old, came up to me and said, "Can I pick your brain for a minute?" I said, "Well, I guess. I'm not big on interacting with people." And she says, "I noticed on my phone that there is a Wi-Fi signal being picked up by her phone, and I was wondering if it was yours." She says it's an ellipsis jetpack. And I said, "Oh yeah, I have an ellipsis jetpack." She says, "Can I ask you about it a little bit?" And I said, "Sure." She says, "Do you have a good signal right now?" And I said, "Yeah, I mean it's not as good as it is if I go into town, but I can upload a video in an hour or so. So, I mean, it's suiting my needs pretty good." She says, "What's the provider?" And I said, "Well, it's Verizon." She says, "I don't understand that." She says, "I got Verizon." She says, "I don't have any speed at all." She says, "I've been trying to open up simple browsers and web pages, and she can't get anything to open." The reason I bring this up is I've made lots of videos about some of the difficulties out here. And this is somebody who is kind of confirming, without really knowing that she's confirming, some of these difficulties that I've had. So it puts in my mind, wow, this is not a unique situation. She says she does online work, and it's critical that she has internet. And right now she doesn't have internet, and she doesn't know what she's going to do. She says she's got to run to town all the time. And it's a good, 30 miles away or 20 miles away. I don't know how far it is. And she says, she's spending a fortune in gasoline. She says, it's easy, $20. She couldn't understand why she wasn't getting high-speed internet, but I had enough that I could watch a Netflix movie. And I said, "Here's the deal." I said, "I think what's going on with you is your Verizon package, even though you have an unlimited package and a contract, unlimited doesn't necessarily mean unlimited. It means you get 25 gigs that are absolutely unlimited. You're going to have high speed up to that point. But after 25 gigs, it's quite likely they're going to meter you down for someone else to use who hasn't used 25 gigs. I said, "I don't have that problem." I said, with mine, and this is kind of unique to Verizon. This is a new setup from Verizon through their prepaid plan. And I made a video on this. I'll put a link to that right here because I don't want to go through it. But through their prepaid plan, $65 a month, you get truly unlimited data. It goes on forever. You could use 1,000,000 gigabytes. It doesn't matter. The difference is between ours and hers is it's called priority levels, and we're on the 3rd priority level. So emergency services get highest priority, and then contract people get the 2nd highest priority. So if she had not used the 25 gigs yet, she actually had higher priority for internet than we did. But once she used it up, and now they're just metering her to death. Whereas with me, I can get online at nighttime, and I'm not being metered at all. It's as fast as it can possibly be out here. And then I told her this is vitally important, because after being out here for 2 years almost, I've learned you got to have 2 providers. You got to have 2 providers. There's just no way around it. This area right here used to be really strong AT&T, but they had a hurricane recently, and now AT&T isn't working hardly at all. Verizon is doing okay. I mean, it's not, as good as it was with AT&T last year, but it's better than nothing. And since I work online and she works online, nothing is not a good idea. The key is you should try to find truly unlimited packages that aren't metered down after 25 gigabytes or 50 gigabytes, 60 gigabytes. Now I want to talk about her rig, because she said for her to go to town costs her a fortune. Now we get 19 miles to the gallon in our homemade truck camper. It's a 4-cylinder pickup truck, and The camper itself weighs 250 pounds. This is very important because I see so many people. There are 3 vehicles, 4 if you include mine, but 3 vehicles in the campground right now, and all 3 of them, you can see the back end sagging down. That young gal's van, when she tried to crawl up this little slope in the campground, it's just a little slope, I mean, you could really hear that engine working. It was really trying to pull a lot of weight. And I see this with van dwellers all the time. I see it online, see it on YouTube. They've just got everything in there, weighing it down, and then you see on YouTube all the time transmission issues, brake issues. Well, it's because you got so much weight in it that you're overheating the transmission, or when you hit the brakes, you got all that weight that you're trying to stop. The other issue you're going to see a lot is tires blow out. Tires only rated to hold so much weight. What you need to do is in the door of your vehicle, it will tell you how much weight your vehicle can hold. And it will also describe to you how much weight you can have in the back and how much weight you can have in the front. Well, our vehicle, the homemade camper, has still 400 pounds. We are 400 pounds underweight. And so that gives me an opportunity that when we get close to a campground, I can fill up our water buckets without a lot of concern that I'm going to overheat the transmission or overheat the tires. So that's what you should be trying to achieve, is being underweight. Which brings me back to the conversation that you got to minimize the amount of stuff that you have. I mean, this young gal, you should see all the stuff that she's pulled out of her camper. Hard telling what else she's got in there. She's got a dog. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a dog. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a dog, but, you know, there's 80 pounds right there. 50, 60, 80 pounds. You know, so you got to worry about your dog weight. You got to worry about all that weight. Your weight has to be included in that. Your own body weight. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.